All right, guys, I want to talk about how accurate you have to be when you figure your, macronutrients, your caloric intake, okay? And what gave me the idea for this video is a comment I got on a recent video where I talked about answering the question, should you weigh your food raw or cooked? And what I basically said was, if you go ahead and take, let's say, a piece of chicken and you cook it in a certain way where a lot of water evaporates, it will weigh less than it did when it was raw. Okay? If you take a certain amount of chicken and you cook it in a way where less water evaporates or, more water is added into it, it might weigh the same or even more. But it's still the same amount of chicken, still the same amount of calories, still the same amount of protein. So you should weigh your food raw. Okay? And one guy made a comment, which actually does make sense. He said, well, if he cooks 100 grams of bacon, pours off the grease, now the weight after you cook it is only 40 grams. So he uses 40 grams instead of 100 grams. Let me go ahead and just say, first of all, he's right. And I actually did say that in the video. I said the only time there's going to be a difference is if you actually take like a piece of meat, like let's say a fatty ground beef, and you cook it on a grill and the fat drains off. Well, now you've lost a lot of fat. And yes, it is true that, cooked, it's going to have different macronutrients, different fat and calories than if it was raw. My way of dealing with that is I always eat the grease, okay? The reason I eat, fatty cuts of beef is because I want more calories and I want more fat. So if I fry it, I take the meat out of the frying pan, put it on my plate, pour the grease on top. If I go ahead and bake it, I bake it in like a small Tupperware container made out of glass, okay? It's like a casserole dish basically. I just put the casserole dish in the oven, bake it, take it out and eat it, and I consume the fat as well. But getting back to this guy's point, what I'm going to talk about now is how accurate you have to be, how precise you have to be when calculating your calories and your macronutrients, okay? And what I want to say is the most important thing that you do is that you remain consistent, okay? Because, figuring out your calories, whether you're trying to cut or bulk or maintain your weight, it's really a guesstimate, okay? You make the best mathematical decision based upon your body composition. You figure out how many calories should be required to maintain or reduce your weight. And then you have to look at how your body reacts and you have to go from there. So less important than the actual calculations you make is observing your body, observing the effects of the diet and changing from there. And to do that, you have to keep everything consistent. So I'm gonna give you a couple of examples here, okay? I take in 4 of these a day, okay? Fish oil tablets, bodybuilding.com signature line. This is really the best, EPA, DHA, ratio that I could find. I take 4 of these tablets a day, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. I do not calculate that when I use my MyFitnessPal. I do not calculate that when I figure out my calories and my macros on a piece of paper. Are there calories in there? Yes. Is there fat in there? Yes. Does that mean that I'm taking in more fat than I quote think? Yes. Does that mean I'm taking in more calories than I quote think? Yes. But it doesn't matter because I take 4 of those every single day of my life. 2 every single morning, 2 every single night. Okay? I'm cutting, I take 2 in the morning, 2 at night. I'm bulking, I take 2 in the morning, 2 at night. I'm maintaining, I take 2 in the morning, I take 2 at night. I'm on vacation, I put them in my bag, take them with me. And if I'm eating out of a restaurant, kind of steak and egg style, just trying to, maintain my weight, I will still take 2 of those in the morning and 2 of them every night. So what I'm saying is, let's say I think I'm taking in 1,800 calories on a really extreme cut, okay? And there's, 100 calories of fat in there. Well, I'm taking in 1,900 calories. But the fact remains, since I'm doing it every single day consistently, that never varies, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and give you another example. I take, sugar-free fiber supplement every night, okay? If I'm cutting, I take my fiber every night. If I'm bulking, I take my fiber every night. If I'm going on vacation, I pack it in my bag and I take my fiber with me every single night. Unless somebody beats me up, takes my fish oil, takes my fiber, and I'm in the middle of the woods and there's not a store where I can buy more fish oil or more fiber, aside from that really weird quasi Twilight Zone situation, I will take 2 fish oil tabs every morning and every night, and I will take 6 teaspoons of sugar-free fiber every single night. Now, does that mean I'm getting in more calories than I think? Yes, I am. But like I said, it is consistent. Okay, it is consistent. So let's go back to the bacon example. Let's say you have, 6 pieces of bacon. Okay, if you take in 6 pieces of bacon and, you're losing weight, okay, and you don't want to lose weight, okay, you might have to add in a slice or two of bacon on top of that, and then you'll go ahead and increase your calories to the point where you're not losing weight. If you are trying to lose weight and you take 6 pieces of bacon, well, you might want to, and you're not losing weight, you might want to drop off a couple slices of bacon and see if that helps. But the fact remains that if you cook bacon the same way every single day, it's not going to adjust anything. It's not going to make a difference, okay? Unless you do something like one day you cook bacon, take the bacon onto your plate, pour away the fat, and then the next day you go ahead and you put the bacon on your plate and you drink the bacon grease. Then there's going to be a difference. But the bottom line is, if you cook your bacon the same way every day and drain off the fat, yes, it might be different from what you're actually taking in, but at the same time, if you cook your bacon the same way all the time, unless, like I said, if you drink bacon fat every third day or every other day, it's going to still be the same amount. Maybe not as many calories or as much fat as you think you're taking in, but it will be the same amount every single day, okay? And this is coming from somebody, I am extremely OCD, like extremely OCD. I'm not crazy and it doesn't affect my life negatively, but I am very OCD, and I'm also very precise. I mean, just yesterday, I think I posted something in my Instagram stories. You should follow me at Anaerobics on Instagram. But anyway, I just posted something yesterday in my stories at Instagram about how I have Greek yogurt mixed with whey protein every night. I do not how much Greek yogurt I put in or take a little scoopy scoop. I actually take a scale, put like a bowl on top of the scale, zero it out, add in 227 grams of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I zero it out again and I add in 31 grams of whey protein powder, because 31 grams of whey protein powder equals 25 grams of protein content. I don't just take a scoop, okay, which might be a little bit more, a little bit less, depending upon, after a while the protein powder settles and more fits into the scoop. I weigh and measure every single thing I eat, okay? So I am a very precise person, but at the same time, like I said, if I'm going to take fiber every single day, and I'm not going to, vary anything, if I'm going to take fish oil pills every single day, if every Sunday I'm going to have 6 pieces of bacon, and I'm not going to have 6 pieces of bacon plus the bacon grease today, as long as something basically stays consistent and stays the same, then like I said, it doesn't matter. That's all that matters, is that you stay consistent, okay? So anyway, like I said, the guy does have a point, okay? But the big picture here is that everything stays consistent. So yes, you should weigh and measure all of your food that you eat, okay? Yes, you should calculate everything, but like some kind of extra supplements like fiber and fish oil tablets, you don't really have to count if you're taking them every single day. It's just your baseline, okay? If you take those and you're at maintenance and then you cut 500, 1,000 calories from your diet, you're still going to have 1,000 calories cut from your diet when you go into a cut, okay? Regardless of the fact that you take the tabs, because you took fish oil tabs at maintenance calories, then you took fish oil tabs maintenance minus 1,000 calories, you're still taking the fish oil tabs. That's not changing anything, okay? So like I said, something like that, you don't necessarily have to measure. And the same thing with bacon. If you take 6 strips of bacon every day, as long as you don't sometimes drink the bacon fat and sometimes don't drink the bacon fat, as long as you cook them the same time, the same way every day, and you're consistent with it, then there's no reason for you to make a really big deal about raw versus cooked weight. It is, however, a good question. I'm not saying anything negative about the guy. I appreciate the feedback. I'm just saying, like I said, consistency is the most important thing. That's why I weigh everything that I eat, but that's also why I don't necessarily worry about, like I said, figuring in my fiber, my fish oil tabs, or the bacon grease if I eat bacon. Okay. Anyway, thanks for the comments. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to answer all my comments. I'm going to try to answer a lot of my comments if they're good questions like this or good comments like this with a video of its own. And make sure you subscribe. I'm putting out like a video every single day. Make sure you click on that little bell icon so that you actually get notified when I put out one of my videos. And if you guys want to learn how to completely take control of your body composition through low carb dieting, get down to 10% body fat and stay there even if you're trying to increase muscular size and strength, check out Low Carb Cutting and Bulking. There's a link below. Or you could just go to lowcarbcuttingandbulking.com. Aside from that, thanks for the question. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video.